Natalie Diaz is a member of the Gila River Indian tribe. As a little background of her before we get into her tribe, though, she was raised in the Fort Mojave Indian Village in Needles, California. She received a full ride to play basketball and study English and Women's Studies at Old Dominion University, where she received her bachelor's degree and then went on to become a professional basketball player overseas. After being satisfied with her athletic career, she returned back to Old Dominion University to get her Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing. Now, she is a Mojave American poet and has published various works, and some of which have gained her the honor of the Pulitzer Prize in Poetry, as well as the honor of the American Book Award. She is also a language activist, noting that she actively works to preserve the Mojave language with its last remaining speakers. Although she enjoys writing, she also makes it known that the stories from her elders are much more important to her. Throughout her life, Diaz has struggled to keep her community's language and history alive and flourishing. With most of the native speakers passing away or getting very old, she is in a constant battle to keep her Mojave roots strong, but is sure to never lose sight or give up. Along with all of that, she also works as an associate professor for creative writing at Arizona State University. Now to move on to her tribe. As I mentioned, she is Mojave and an enrolled member of the Gila River Indian tribe. The Gila River Indian Reservation was established in 1859, but the Gila River Indian Community was not formally established by Congress until about 1939. This community is composed of two tribes, the Pima and the Maricopas, both of which hold a rich history in arts and crafts given their respective focuses, such as pottery being the Maricopa's focal point, and basket weaving being the Pima focal point. But they also both created jewelry and other things alike. Most of the artists in these tribes focus on the beauty of the natural elements around them. With that being said, the river and the desert holds a very special place in their work. Also, because of the river, irrigation plays a huge role in their lives as well. The Maricopas grew corn, beans, squash, cotton, and tobacco. After residing in the area by themselves for a while, the Pima people eventually came seeking a place to live, and both tribes agreed to live in harmony and harvest the land together, naming the new irrigation system the Pima Maricopa Irrigation Project, which is actually still active today. However, in the 1800s, they started to have river flow problems. Due to the use of the river upstream, they were not getting as much water as they needed downstream. Some members tried to move to other locations, but ultimately had the same problems of lack of water. The tribes have dealt with this struggle for many years, and still are struggling with it to this day. But as we speak, they are working to hopefully get their irrigation systems back to what it once was, and the water flow back to what it should be. Obviously, given the strong sense of community within the tribe, they are all working together to get to where they all ultimately want to be one day. Living in this area impacts all members' lives in many ways, from the irrigation problems to artwork and artistic expression, and everything in between. Natalie Diaz has actually previously mentioned in an interview the relations and connections that she has found between writing and her experiences regarding her life and growing up in this area. She explains that the correlation comes from it being a way for her to explore why she wants things, and why she's afraid of things, and why she worries about things. And for her, all of those things represent a kind of hunger that comes from being raised in a place like this. Although sometimes these tribes may seem far off and in their own little world, the Gila River Indian community is actually open for tourists. They have a casino, golfing, racing, a spa, and many other tourist attractions that draw in the public. By visiting their land, it is a little bit easier to understand and see what it's like living as the river people do. Also, you will get to see some breathtaking scenery with the sunsets and desert skies, the river flowing, and the animals thriving. I'm sure I can say that Natalie Diaz would absolutely love to see people coming to truly immerse themselves and learn all about her way of life and the tribe in which she comes from.